The order's going to change, but I am positive Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano will be on this main card. I'm also positive this is a very good fight. And the last comment is the main card of UFC 311 is much harder to break down than the prelims. The prelims were pretty straightforward to me. All those fights I just broke down, pretty confident every single one of those picks. The main card, this is where things are going to get dicey. And this is exactly one of those fights. Just 2 years ago, you people were going on and on. Beneil Dariush, the greatest guy in the world. Yeah, he looks like a handsome suburban dad. But everybody's talking about the best jiu-jitsu, the greatest hand. Beneil Dariush. Then he loses a couple in a row at the highest possible level to a former champ and the guy in this main event. And everybody's like, Beneil Dariush sucks. Renato Moicano, who was a journeyman just a year ago, Renato Moicano, who was almost unconscious from Jalen Turner, is going to smoke Beneil Dariush? Maybe. We're about to break it down. But that's how quick narratives change in this sport. 12 months ago, if I polled the world who's winning between Beneil Dariush and Renato Moicano, it would be overwhelmingly in Beneil Dariush's favor. And the only thing that's changed is Renato Moicano almost got finished and beat Jalen Turner, and then caught a kick and beat Benoit Saint-Denis. And on the other side, Beneil Dariush lost to the number 2 and number 3 guys on the planet. That's it. Those are the only thing that's changed. And isn't that what's supposed to happen? Meaning Beneil Dariush is what? Ranked number 5 in the world? In theory, 5 should lose to 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and break it down. I don't know why. I don't know what triggered that rant. But we're going to go ahead and break it down anyway. Beneil Dariush, as I implied, very good grappler. World-level grappling. BJJ no-gi world champion, which is far more important for MMA than the bathrobe. We've seen him beat people with grappling. We've seen him have incredible success with his hands. Look, we did to Tony Ferguson, Diego Ferreira. He's striking with people like Scott Holtzman, James Vick. Perennial contender. He did just lose to a couple of very highly ranked people in the world, but the reality is Beneil Dariush is a very, very good fighter. He's taking on Renato Moicano. Well, also a very good fighter. He's got a BJJ black belt. Technical striker. He doesn't really have stoppage power on his feet, but he does have good volume, sets a nice pace. His chin's a bit shaky. We've seen that in many, many fights, but he's tough, and he grinds through it. He averages almost 2 takedowns per fight, a 45% takedown accuracy, but he doesn't have the cleanest takedowns. He usually just ends up clinching or dragging people to the ground. He's coming off that come-from-behind win at UFC 300, where Jalen Turner had this dude 99% knocked out, and if Jalen Turner threw one more punch, he wins that fight. Instead, he wanted to walk-off highlight, wanted to look like the cool guy, and then he had an adrenaline dump, and it changed the entire dynamic of that fight. This is a tough fight to pick. I disagree with how wide these odds are. Nobody in this fight, on either side, should be more than a 2-1 favorite. Nobody. I understand Moicano being the favorite. I do get that. He's surging right now. Beneil's on a skid. They're literally on opposite sides of the trajectory. But if you go skill for skill in this matchup, these odds are insane. Beneil has some of the literal best takedown defense I have ever seen. Go watch the ridiculous scrambles when he fought Gamrot. He also has great hands and some power. Moicano, whoa. I had a stroke. I got so fired up, I had a stroke halfway through saying Moicano. While Moicano is winning some fights and he's got some solid grappling, taking down Beneil is going to be much different than taking down Jalen Turner, who almost killed him. And I was going to go through all of this and then still be like, but I'm going to pick Moicano anyway. But I'm not. I'm going to go with Beneil Dariush. I'm going the other way. He's a dog. Let's hope that there's some peak form here. He's not 1 foot out the door. He's much younger than he looks. These guys are the same age. Don't let that beautiful, thick gray hair fool you. They are the same age. But Beneil is going to be the underdog pick here. And we'll see what happens. I am curious. The hate I'm going to get in the comments is wild. Because just last year, when I'm picking against Beneil Dariush, I'm getting hate. Now I'm picking him, and I'm going to get hate as well. And that is a window into MMA fans. The most fair weather fans. And that's all of us. So I'm not shitting on you guys. I'm shitting on me too. We all do it. We're only as good as your last fight. But I'm zooming out, baby. Zooming out.